Top 13 games for weak computers. Hello everyone! Today we have a selection of 13 games for weak computers. Most of these are old games, as I explored Steam and realized that there are very few interesting new games for low-end computers. In the past, there were some really good games, even masterpieces, that required minimal resources. However, in this list, there are also relatively newer games with modest requirements. There are a couple of games that need 6 GB of RAM, but in 2023, such a computer can be considered weak. You can find the names of all the games and time codes for easy navigation in the description of this video. Enjoy watching! Brink. This is an extraordinary game, a kind of parkour-themed tactical shooter. There are two teams that perform different missions while also killing each other. The player can choose which mission to undertake. There are many moves that truly help to escape from enemies. There is also parkour, which means you can climb anywhere. There is a huge selection of weapons, from a police pistol to a minigun, and the most important part of the game is character customization. The player has a vast array of options, from jackets to tattoos. Your hero will never look like anyone else. There is one downside though: unlocking and obtaining items takes a long time. The choice of soldier also plays a role in the further progression. If you create a slender fighter, you will be able to run, jump, and climb on any projection. But if the soldier is heavily built, they won't be as agile and fast. They won't be able to climb every projection. Each chosen soldier has their own abilities. Some supply ammunition, others heal, and some can hack. I am confident that you will enjoy this game, especially since it is affordable and can be purchased officially on Steam. Driver. San Francisco. These racing games are cool and, in my opinion, underrated. It's not just about racing here, but a whole series with elements of drama, action, and comedy. The storyline isn't exceptional, but it's interesting. Such an approach in the racing genre is uncommon. Additionally, there are fantastic flights over the city and the ability to inhabit random drivers to switch cars. You'll learn why this happens as the story unfolds. Besides the original plot, there's also an interesting gameplay. The game is not solely focused on racing. We'll be taking a person to the hospital in an ambulance, chasing criminals in police cars, and even playing the role of a taxi driver. And that's not all. There are plenty of diverse missions, such as setting time records or maintaining high speed on the wrong side of the road. You'll be able to acquire new garages and cars, as well as level up your character. Overall, the game is close to a masterpiece and undoubtedly one of Ubisoft's best games. Horror of the Deep, an adventurous horror game where we will wander through endless mazes of a dark, mystical castle. As we descend further, our path becomes more challenging. We'll encounter monsters and ghosts that we must avoid. The gameplay revolves around searching for paths and items that can unlock necessary passages. Without a map, we must explore every nook and cranny. It is essential to evade the monsters and ghosts, as being killed will result in starting from the next checkpoint. Some items may appear in different locations, but dark inscriptions will provide hints in our search. The game boasts impressive graphics. The massive castle with its dark corridors and terrifying monsters, immersive castle with its dark horror atmosphere. It all looks terrifying yet intriguing. Woolfe. The Red Hood Diaries. The main protagonist of this game is Red Riding Hood, but she is now grown up and ready to fight back. She undoubtedly deserves a place among the assassins, as she can run across rooftops, jump, move unnoticed, and skillfully wield an axe. The game itself is a platformer with elements of 2.5D. Here, you will also have to change camera perspectives, moving into the background or foreground. The gameplay in general is typical and not much different from similar games. However, that does not mean the game is bad. It is truly captivating. Astroneer. A sandbox game reminiscent of Subnautica's in its stylistic approach. It revolves around exploring the planets of the local solar system. There is a storyline and an ultimate goal: to activate the core of each planet and then upload an element from each to the space station. Although no one forces you to pursue this objective, you can roam freely and engage in creative endeavors, constructing your base to your liking and so forth. You can even shape the terrain to create different formations through terraforming. The gameplay itself is straightforward. collect objects for research, earn bytes, and study them to unlock structures and tools for further development. Certain resources can only be obtained on specific celestial bodies, so exploration is necessary. In the beginning, all of this appears and feels fascinating, even meditative. However, after some time, it may become somewhat monotonous to perform repetitive tasks. Risen 3: Titan Lords. This game is brought to you by the creators of the esteemed Gothic series, renowned for their commitment to crafting exceptional gaming experiences. Instead of venturing into other genres, these German developers have focused on refining the detail. We are introduced to the immersive element of swimming for the first time, as well as improved combat mechanics that include attacks, evasions, blocks, and spells. Special attention has been given to the narrative, which has become more intricate and captivating. The game world is populated with a greater variety of characters, offering more possibilities for magic and alchemy. In summary, if you happen to be a fan and connoisseur of the Gothic series, this game is sure to capture your interest and delight. Damnation. I fail to comprehend why this game's ratings are predominantly negative. Despite being released in 2009, it turned out to be quite good. This game has everything one could ask for: a decent, even intriguing storyline, engaging gameplay, a plethora of weapons and diverse enemies, each with varying levels of strength, several bosses, even parkour, and a vast world with captivating landscapes. And of course, cool motorcycles, including three-wheelers that allow wall riding and a short burst of nitro. Personally, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, so I highly recommend playing it, disregarding all the other negative reviews. Prince of Persia, of the year 2008. If you haven't played the previous games, don't worry. This game is completely unrelated to them. The prince here is not tough and brutal, but rather enchanting. It's like a fairy tale. If you were expecting intense fighting, like in Tenny Warrior Within, you'll find very little of it here. The core of the game is parkour and epic acrobatics, wall running, cliff descents, vine climbing, and so on. All the acrobatics are performed with ease and joy. The combat system is spectacular and incorporates elements of acrobatics. It is indeed a worthy reboot. However, due to some foolish design choices, the game can be irritating at times. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Vegas 2. This is a tactical shooter that I had never seen anything like before I played it. The freedom to choose camouflage, weapons, armor, clothing, and most importantly, tactics, is a standout feature of the game. Levels can be approached with both stealth and dynamic shootouts, which is where the game really shines. We have a plethora of gadgets and a couple of teammates to whom we can give orders. Each room can be traversed in 2 or 3 different ways. Playing in cooperative mode with a friend adds an extra layer of awesomeness. If you have a friend with a similar low-end computer, don't hesitate to get the game. In terms of tactics and cooperative play, this is one of the best games out there. The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. Escape from Butcher Bay is the first installment of a thrilling action game based on the film A Black Hole. Mace, if you haven't watched the movie yet, I highly recommend doing so. The gameplay of the game presents a top-notch first-person shooter experience reminiscent of MES X, but without RPG elements. While character development is absent, interactive development is absent, interactive dialogues, a certain degree of non-linearity, and a plethora of optional missions are present. Additionally, some tasks can be completed stealthily or, conversely, straightforwardly. It's worth noting that this is a remastered version of the game, which boasts improved visuals and seamless compatibility with modern Windows version. The game does have slightly higher system requirements, but if it lags, you can always opt for the original 2004 version. Overall, you will derive immense pleasure from this game. Saints Row 2, an excellent game from a great series, and this particular installment adds something new. While there are more activities in the game, thanks to the superpowers you acquire early on, the gameplay is significantly shortened. Therefore, cars are almost unnecessary, but just like in the classic Guitar, we still ride in them. However, if Guitar is a more serious game, here we have pure trashy fun. The open world in Saw 2 offers a vast array of diverse missions, graffiti art, numerous mini-games, and interesting locations. The storyline also impresses with its variety and enjoyable features, such as the combat system, food purchasing, and cool customization options. The city looks alive, with numerous NPCs engaged in various activities. Everywhere you look, there are interactive objects to fight against, and you can spend a lot of time simply wandering through shopping centers, stores, and clubs. The graphics, of course, may be outdated, but they are still pleasing to the eye. And the radio soundtrack is just fantastic, blending seamlessly with the game. Third Eye. 'Tis a game that clearly aimed to resemble God of War, but instead turned out to be a game about an Indian Aquaman. Surprisingly, the game features large, beautiful locations with plenty of secrets to discover. The combat is rather simplistic, revolving around combos, magic, and evasive maneuvers. Since bosses hit hard, active spellcasting becomes necessary. The game also incorporates some puzzles, although they are not particularly challenging and serve more as a means of diversifying gameplay. As for the enemies, they fare worse. There are simply many of them, but their intelligence is virtually non-existent. They merely surround you, and you dispatch them effortlessly. Juice 2. Hot Import Nights. Today, we will discuss Juice 2 Hot Import Nights. If the first installment was considered low quality, the second one is a rather decent game. It offers participation in a television show, with cheering spectators on the sides and women leisurely strolling around. The career in the game is divided into leagues, ranging from the easiest to the most challenging. To advance from one league to another, you must meet specific conditions and win races that are quite demanding. By doing so, you unlock the next level and are given the choice to either purchase a new car or upgrade your current one. Each car has limitations based on the leagues it can be used in. For instance, the Mazda MX-5 is only suitable for the first few leagues. The races themselves are well made and quite diverse. However, the physics in the game are completely unrealistic. It is disappointing to see that although external damage can occur to the cars, it has no impact on their behavior. We can race at full speed, with bumpers flying off and hoods dented, but that's about it. On the other hand, the tuning aspect of the game is top-notch. In the garage, you can customize both the appearance of your car and its engine characteristics, among other things. You can install bumpers, spoilers, exhaust systems, steering wheels, seats, headlights, and much more. Thank you for watching. Well, that's it, gentlemen and ladies. That's the whole selection of games for today. Thank you for watching. I await your engagement, likes and subscriptions, and please share the video. And that's all for now. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.